All right, I've talked about before how for so long I was dating people who were like non-committal and situationship type vibes, and I gave you guys a club rat origin story, so I feel like I should give you a dating origin story. So really, my first saga type of relationship that was never a relationship, never validated as a relationship, started when I was, God, I think I was 14. Yeah. So this guy was my sister's age. He had graduated with her. I knew who he was because I had seen him at concerts, and like I think he came to our door one time. Anyways, like I knew of him. I thought he was cute, and I told my sister this. And it was like summer going into like, I must have been summer going into ninth grade. Yeah, because it was the summer before he was going to college. And my sister, I tell her that I like him. She invites him over. My sister dares us to go in the other room and make out. Which like I was like, yes, please. Like I had a crush on this guy. I was younger. So in addition to me making out with him, we also do, because we're playing Truth or Dare. So we go out that night and I dare him to roll my friend's house. And when I say roll, we used to like toilet paper roll people's houses back in the day. I don't think people do that anymore because of how much toilet paper is. But yeah, roll my friend's house at like 3 o'clock in the morning. And he had to do it in one of my G-strings, a red Victoria's Secret G-string. And I will never forget that memory. And that was the beginning. That was the first night that I ever kissed him. Yeah. So it was the beginning of like a situation where we would hook up that continued for, I mean, all of high school, really. Like when I had boyfriends, I cheated on them with this guy, like fully. And when he had girlfriends, he cheated on them with me. And it was totally messed up. And was like, part of it, I think part of me getting into that situation was like in response to like my parents had just gone through a divorce, and like I just like had a fucked up idea of like what relationships were. And I think the fact that like my parents' divorce was like due to my dad like cheating on my mom with the person who he ended up with made it so that I gravitated towards situations like this, And also, thank you, therapy. It's taken me a long time to unpack this. But yeah, he went to college like 3 or 4 hours away. He would drive back. I would sneak out of my house. My mom at one point had to put an alarm on my window because I would sneak out through my window. I would like pop the screen off and just go out. Then after she put the alarm on my window, I would go through a window in the Florida room of my house. I would sometimes have to squeeze through the dog door, which is not big dog size. It was pug dog size. So like the lengths that I went to hook up with this dude, I was smitten. He was actually really the origin story of me. Was he really the origin story of me writing music? No, he actually wasn't the first guy I wrote music about. He really wasn't. But once this thing happened, of course, you're like pining for a guy who's like dating other people and giving them validation and like refuses to validate the situation that you have. And especially once it went on for like all of high school for me, and then like I went off to college. There were a couple of times after college, but like it was just unhealthy. And yet I enjoyed being in this like tortured state because it drew music out of me. And so it set the bar for like what the relationship I was willing to be in was. And that continued for a very long time. So I'm sharing all of this in hopes of helping other women because, you know, stepping outside of yourself and reflecting on why you gravitate towards things, you know, as far as like, and of course he had to keep it secret because he was 18 and I was 14, and like that would be illegal. And so I'm not going to call him out, and like I really no hard feelings, I guess, cuz like I don't know. It is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, it definitely set the tone for me. And look, I'm like a martyr for my art, and I am the first to admit that. I am the first to admit that, where like I realize that I can, like I alchemize the pain of a breakup so well into something beautiful that like I always am questioning, do I like put myself through this on purpose to pull that inspiration out? So yeah, it's that's my origin dating story. It was a lot of sneaking out, a lot of sneaking around. Um, never really never making it official. Like it was always a secret. And so I enjoyed that. When I got older, for a while I enjoyed it until I didn't, until I was like, this is torture. Why am I doing like, why are you doing this to yourself? Which is like why I'm not dating. I got, you know, so, and like I have to say why I'm not dating is also really just the fact that I have children, and like they are my number one priority, and I have to be happy and not tortured and pining over someone for them, you know. Like I've done it. I've gotten enough history of that I can draw inspiration from those dudes forever and for always until the end of time. So like for those of you who have dated me, like sorry, expect it. You knew what you got yourself into. But yeah, there you go. Origin story.